On today's episode of Bet Bath & Beyond, we are going to talk about the best sports books in the game. We're also going to talk about the NFL.
I actually didn't know we were going to talk about. I didn't bring a list of anything with sports books, Andrew. This is honestly, I swear to God, the first time I'm hearing about any sort of sports books rankings. I will do it on the fly like I do my entire life, like I've done my entire life through school, through work, through jobs, everything on the fly. I'll do it. No worries. Don't even worry about it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, go.
I am Ian Peacock.
And I am Andy Heidemann. And I hate sports betting. No matter what you say, I'm betting 100 on it tonight.
Welcome to Bet Bath & Beyond.
Brought to you by B3TSports.com.
Now, before we get into football, Andrew, and before we forget, Robbie was talking about going to what did you say, Robbie? You're going to the Cincinnati Reds game?
No. I'm going to the Blues game tonight.
Do you see what I did there? That one's a color and the other one's a color, and I mixed up the colors. And I also mixed up the city. So that makes sense.
But Cincinnati sucks.
Cincinnati,
they do suck.
They're in the AFC Championship, so maybe we should be a little bit kinder to our words. But Robbie is leaving the broadcast early to go to the Blues game, which is fucking tight. We'll excuse his PTO, right? Do you sign something for his PTO to
I signed
a form or something like that? He'll still get paid.
I did get a pay doc though, so I think it's worth it.
But
listen, I don't make the rules. I just enforce the shitty rules.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I bring it up is because I'm excited for Robbie. Robbie, have you been to a Blues game?
I have. This is, I think, my fourth one since coming to town, and it works because it's right down the road from this.
Yeah, through your
right down the road, so I can just walk over there. Don't have to worry about parking.
That's awesome, actually. I went to my first Blackhawks game, NHL game.
Oh, that's a shame.
This past December, so a month ago, I went to my first NHL game. It was a Blackhawks game. It was fucking electric.
Have you ever? So that was your first Blackhawks game, but have you ever been to a hockey game before?
Yes, I've been to the Waterloo Blackhawks game many times.
Yeah, okay.
I'm serious.
I mean that in itself is still fun. I mean, it's like
that's what like minor
hockey,
league. It's like a minor league
hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Travel hockey, whatever. But this was my first NHL professional hockey game, and holy shit, it was electric.
Oh yeah.
A couple comments. In between periods are really long. People don't realize this. There are 3 periods in a hockey game, and it's not like halftime. It's like 2 halftimes. It's like you have like 20 minutes to go do something, and then you have another 20 minutes in between the second and third period to go do something, which is awesome if you're there to like drink and like have a good time and just party, because that gives you all the time in the world to go get your drink, go socialize, go to the bathroom, all this other stuff. And overtime hockey is the greatest thing in sports. I'm not even joking, Andrew. It is the greatest thing in sports. 3v3. No, it's 3v3 now. So
wait. Really?
Well, you get 5 minutes of 3v3, and then if it's still tied, then they go to the shootout.
Right. And shootouts are fun.
Because my first game, it went to 8 rounds of a shootout. That wasn't so much fun. We got to about round 5, and it's like, all right, let's wrap this up. Just pinch it off. Let's go.
I'm talking about the 3v3.
Super interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you have to decide beforehand. Okay, if this game goes into overtime, these are your 3v3s, or is this like you decide after, like when it's like happening? You're like, okay, how do you pick?
Well, it's still line changes throughout it.
Right. It's on the fly.
Okay. All right.
But it's 3v3, so you have to be like ultra conservative or very specific with your passes, because I mean, all it takes
3 goalies.
I mean, all it takes
one breakaway.
One breakaway. I mean, literally the overtime that I saw against the Blackhawks and the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars ended up winning. I mean, all it took was one fast break and the game was over. But it was for the first minute where it was just 3v3, it was the most electric. I mean, I would watch that for 60 minutes. That was awesome.
Well, you got to be careful with power plays too, because if somebody goes in the penalty box and it's 3v2, and then that team's just screwed.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're fucked.
Exactly.
You guys have seen the movie Miracle, right?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
No.
Oh, Robbie, you should.
No,
watch
I actually
Miracle.
haven't.
We have it on DVD. Actually, Hillary has it on DVD, and we just haven't watched it.
I maintain that
Robbie just doxed his significant other. By the way, Robbie just doxed his significant other. You're gonna have to. Is she cool with that, Robbie? Are you gonna have to bleep that out? Say her last name.
I think she's been waiting for me to name drop her.
Say her last name.
Moment in the
Say her last name.
I've totally name dropped. I've totally name dropped her before.
Have
Yeah.
you? Okay, but
I think so.
what's her last name and social security number?
Yeah,
Andy might know that.
Well, you actually have.
Andy, you've known her longer than I have.
That's true. Listen, you're gonna have to pay for our subscription service to get anyone's last name or social security number. Right? That's just what it is. No, I maintain that Miracle is one of the best sports movies of all time.
I've never
It's
seen
up
it.
there with you. Fucking.
You
just
not
said
listen?
you saw.
I lied when I first said I did, and then I said no like three
What
other
is
times.
this?
It's me lying
you
to you.
didn't.
Welcome
Yeah,
to a
okay.
segment.
Well,
it's called Me Lied to Andrew to make him
it's
get
not a
really
segment,
pissed
it's a whole
off.
podcast.
That's, yeah,
All right, we're going to talk about. So obviously, okay, we're going to talk about sports books now because when sports betting first became legal in the U.S., we were super hyped for it, and we didn't really care what the product was as long as we were able to legally sports bet, which I think was a lot of people. But now you have options depending on where you live. But now you've got options, and there's a market for it. And there are some sports books that are really fucking bad, and there's some sports books that are pretty good. Now,
William Hill.
Well, so that's the thing. William Hill was the first sports book that you and I legally used.
Well, we didn't really have a choice. We didn't have a choice.
Right. And it was different. Like now you can download DraftKings if you're in a legal state or some of these other books, and you can just deposit and start betting. When it first became legal in Iowa, we had to go to a casino, like a physical location, and be in the casino, download the app, sign a waiver, like do all this shit. And if you ever wanted to cash out, you had to go to the casino to cash out.
No,
now they've done a
you
ton
never
of
had to do that. You signed it.
Yes, you did.
You did it that way. No.
You could deposit it in different ways, but you could not withdraw unless you went to the casino. And that is a fact. And the reason I know that is because
I guess I never
had several
withdrew.
Conversations. No, you didn't.
That means I
And
never
it's
withdrew
funny.
and I never won any money.
Well,
because I never withdrew any money.
I'll say this. It could have changed over. I don't know when, because Caesars Sportsbook now bought them. But what I do have to say is that initially it was a problem because
I'm
moving.
exactly.
I
moved.
have to fucking come back.
Exactly. I had made the infamous 2019, which was really the 2020 Super Bowl bet on the Chiefs and 49ers. I thought I was betting on the 2019 Super Bowl. I picked the Chiefs and the 49ers. They ended up being futures. For those of you that are confused, I thought there was a glitch in the sports book that gave positive odds to both the 49ers and the Chiefs. And this was
who were already in the Super Bowl. This was the week before the Super Bowl. And I thought it was a glitch that I was taking advantage of the William Hill Sportsbook. It turns out that I'm the stupid one, which obviously is perfectly clear now and should have been clear to me back then. 2020.
But I was the stupid one, and I actually was betting on futures to see if the Chiefs or the 49ers would win in the 2020 Super Bowl. I ended up moving to Chicago from Iowa the following year, and lo and behold, the Chiefs were playing in the 2020 Super Bowl as well.
Yes.
I put a lot of money on that bet because, again, I thought I was taking advantage of a glitch. So I properly hedged against the Bucks too to make some money. I did end up winning some money on that bet. However, if the Chiefs would have won that bet, I would have had to drive 5 hours to the casino in Iowa to actually claim that money. which would have been awful.
Yeah. So,
I probably wouldn't
but I
have
mean,
gone.
but no, you definitely would have. For
It was
that
a lot of
fucking-
money.
I mean, it was
it was,
enough
it was
money.
a lot.
Yeah,
It was a
enough
lot of
money.
money.
You would have.
I would have.
That's
I
worth
would
the
have
trip.
gone. I would have gone. I wouldn't have liked it, but I would have gone.
You don't have to like it. But so with all that being said, there are a lot of shitty parts to like being early to the sports betting game. But again, now we have options. I personally I use DraftKings, I use FanDuel. I've recently signed up for BetMGM and PointsBet, and technically I have a Caesars account because William Hill was bought by Caesars, and I went onto their customer service page and I was like, "Hey, do I have to make a new account?" And they're like, "Nope, it should be good." I don't bet on Caesars, but I'm about to start like looking at it, and I kind of wanted to go through you because you use Bet Rivers as well, or you've used Bet Rivers.
Fuck Bet
And I
Rivers.
haven't.
Fuck Bet
Yeah.
Rivers. It's called Trash Rivers in my book. The only reason I used Bet Rivers was, again, the William Hill effect. When I first moved to Chicago, they were pretty much the only sports book you could use at the time. DraftKings wasn't here. FanDuel wasn't here. Barstool Sportsbook wasn't here. I'm a DraftKings guy through and through. To be honest, I've used FanDuel. It's pretty good too. It's just that after Trash Rivers, I went to DraftKings because they were the very next available sports book, and I really just haven't left since then.
I guess like this isn't terribly serious, but I kind of wanted to get your feel on what you think is the best, and if there are ones that you don't have that you are curious about. Like for me, I think DraftKings. I've read everywhere that DraftKings has kind of not great promos, and some of their other stuff is but I use DraftKings mostly because I'm big into daily fantasy, and DraftKings for me, daily fantasy is great.
That's their bread and butter.
And it is, and I kind of feel like that's why I gravitated to DraftKings. My the BetMGM app is absolutely trash. It is garbage. It takes you to separate pages to do certain things.
Is it a
and
mobile native app or is it a web app?
So it is a mobile native app unless you go to certain pages on the app, in which case it feels like it's trying to load a web page within the app. And
I hate that. That's like Trash
forever.
Rivers.
It's
That's like Trash Rivers.
Oh, okay then. So and that fucking sucks. Now, PointsBet, I have not used a lot. I have not used it at all yet. I have made an account and I've downloaded it, but I'm like waiting for a decent like first bet promo because I'm assuming there'll be one for the Super Bowl at some point. But their UI is, I think, really fucking sharp. The red is whatever, the red and black, but like the way it feels when I use it is it's snappy. I think like the UI of all of these sports books, the best one, it's probably PointsBet or FanDuel. DraftKings has a really great UI for DFS, but their sportsbook is kind of, I find that I go looking for shit sometimes and I can't find it.
Yeah, again, DraftKings, I'm a DraftKings guy, but mostly because they were the first sports book that I liked after William Hill and after Bet Rivers. So after both of that, which are both trash, by the way, and do not recommend if you have alternative sports books, but going from that to DraftKings, which was the first available sports book in Chicago, and that just goes to show you how important it is to be first or to be the first good product on the market. Fuck you, Trash Rivers. You were technically first, but you were a terrible product. But to be the first good product on the market, you're going to capture a lot of people and hold them because it's kind of a bitch to keep setting up accounts with various sports books. Yeah. Depending on where you live, you might even have to go and drive to a casino, drive to a physical location to open a sportsbook account. Fuck that. Once you have a good sportsbook that does the job and isn't trash, I'll probably stick with it. I have used PointsBet. I agree the UI is slick. I can't remember why I stopped using PointsBet. I just found myself going back to DraftKings. I don't know why. But PointsBet is good. I do like FanDuel. I do like FanDuel's ability to make parlays. I feel like they're parlay freedoms. My biggest gripe about DraftKings at the moment is that it's very hard they don't give you a lot of freedom with parlays, and I love parlays.
Yeah, they're
specifically
same game parlays are kind of shitty too.
Specifically prop parlays, And FanDuel does a
Yeah.
really good job at pretty much allowing any prop bet to be a parlay. And DraftKings is very particular with what bets you can combine with other bets in their platform. I don't like that. So, you know what? The more I'm talking about this, I might fire up the FanDuel app, and depending on
you really should.
depending on PointsBet, I might go give them another look too, because I actually do remember, because I was betting on the games this past weekend. I did very well. I did chef's kiss very well.
I also
Not with
did very
us,
well.
Andrew. Not with us. We'll get to that. We'll get to our
Yeah.
contest, our steak dinner
Yes, we
contest.
will.
I'm kind of in a hole right now. I'm going to need a big comeback. But
Yeah, and we actually, well, when we discuss that teaser, I have a new rule that I'll discuss with you, so that way it could be a little bit more fair. Because there's only so many. You'll see. But another thing is, well, by the way, I'm gonna write an article, like a piece on this for the site and for our listeners. If you want, you'll be able to go. And we're not talking about all the specifics here, but it'll be a piece that'll talk about all the sports books and the positives and negatives of each one. And I'm going to link to some promos, hopefully. So if you ever want to sign up, you can. It's also going to matter like where you live, because I know it's not legal everywhere. But there are definitely some things with some of the sports books that I really like. The worst part about multiple sports books, like if you're a person who really likes to bet and you're actually looking for the best deal, is having to bankroll 5 or 6 sports books. Like, even if you're somebody like me who doesn't bet a whole lot, like I mean, my unit is maybe $5. If I like went and put $100 in 6 different sports book accounts, just so that way I was primed and ready to bet when a bet, seemed like a good idea. It's just a lot of money floating in different spots that I have to check.
that's fucking annoying. Yeah, that's annoying. I don't want that. You don't want that, Andrew.
Right. But anyway, that's kind of, to me, I think we're both in agreement that DraftKings is the one that we use the most, but not the one that we necessarily like love. I mean, we use it.
Yeah,
but
the more I keep talking about it, I do like DraftKings. It's a very solid sports book through and through. I wish it had more freedom with parlays, and some of their promos aren't as good as what I've seen with Barstool and FanDuel, and that's probably because they're trying to draw customers from DraftKings or from another sportsbook into their sportsbook. Duh. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I use DraftKings 9 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 bets is a DraftKings bet.
Okay, so let's talk about random NFL bullshit.
One thing I do want to note before we move on from sportsbooks: Caesars has the best commercials out of any sportsbook, hands down, dude. Hands down.
They have Remy the Rat.
They do not have Remy the Rat. Oh wait, they do have Remy the Rat. You're right.
They do have Remy the Rat.
Patrick Oswald. They do. So, and who's the comedian? Who's that comedian's name? Who plays Caesar?
Is it
JB Smooth?
JB Smooth, yes, Robbie from the heavens. Robbie comes in. JB Smooth is hilarious. He's hilarious, and they have Halle Berry as Cleopatra. That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And she's hot.
It's so funny because every time I'm on YouTube or something and I see one of those ads, all the comments underneath, like, or anytime I see anyone comment on a social media about those Caesars ads, they're like, wow, they put like so much money into those ads and their platform is just fucking terrible.
Yeah,
and
again,
honestly,
I've never used their platform, so I'm just talking strictly the commercials. The commercials are A+. A+, JB Smooth is hilarious.
It's like Baker Mayfield and his commercials. It's like,
yeah,
I can't speak for the product, but like, dude, those commercials undeniably fire. There's nothing like watching Baker throw a pick 6 and then cutting to trying to sell you car insurance.
Yeah, like him, like, like getting dressed in the morning and like him in a book club and being like, oh my God, Kathy, did you hear that she's putting her kids back in tennis lessons? Meanwhile, the fucking Browns are down 21 points.
It's so funny. All right, so random NFL.
Halle Berry is 56. Halle Berry is 56 years old. That's insane.
How old is Jennifer Aniston? She's got to be 52, 51.
I don't think she's in her 50s yet. Sorry, Halle Berry is 55. She turns 56 this year. She's from Cleveland,
Jennifer
Ohio.
Aniston might not be.
Why do you care about Jennifer Aniston?
I'm just curious as like a baseline of somebody who like.
Oh yeah, she's
is
52.
barely. Is she? Hell yeah.
Jennifer Aniston, 52 years old.
Oh, there you go.
But she's
I'm a
not
genius.
Cleopatra, so why the fuck are we talking about her?
Just attractive women from
She's
that
not-
age group. That's all we're saying.
She's not in a sport. No. We're just talking specifically about
Only about people who have played Cleopatra.
Cleopatra in the Caesar Sportsbook ads. Now, if
Oh,
Jennifer
that's it.
Aniston becomes Cleopatra, honestly, if she's just in any other sportsbook ad, then we can talk about her. But she hasn't earned that right.
Well, it's funny. I mean, she could do whatever the fuck she wants. Like, she's loaded, obviously, from Friends. Like, she's never gonna do a movie that she doesn't want to do. It's not like she's strapped for cash.
Bye,
That's why
Robbie.
Every time I see her in a movie,
Bye,
Oh,
Robbie.
bye,
Have fun at the
Robbie.
Blues game. Have fun at the Blues game. We got to
that's why,
wave.
every time. That's why every time I see her in a movie with Adam Sandler, it makes me laugh. Like, you're not. I don't. Like, again, you're not strapped for cash. I don't know why you're like.
I
have
actually
to do
just
this movie
watched.
with Adam Sandler.
I just watched Just Go With It last night.
That's a pretty good movie.
It's
I mean, it's like
okay. It's got
it's
its
like,
funny
okay,
parts, but it's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible movie.
Well, I mean, like, you're not gonna. You're telling me that you're putting on Adam Sandler, going, "Where's my
Yeah, I know.
Academy Award winning performance?"
Uncut Gems. He got robbed,
Uncut Gems is the only exception.
and maybe Click. Click is deep. Click is
Click
deep.
is funny, but it's not like
Oh no, Click is deep.
I don't know. Have you watched Ad Astra yet?
Let's talk about football. Let's talk about
All right.
football, Andrew. No, I haven't watched
Well-
Ad Astra yet, but
Shut up.
I want to, Andrew. I want to. My wife,
I
she
don't believe
doesn't.
that.
She doesn't want to watch it. I can't. What am I
She just
supposed
doesn't
to do?
understand.
What am I supposed to do? Go watch it in another room without her? That's fucking weird. She's watching her shows in one room, and I'm watching Ad Astra in the other room.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fucking
how that
weird,
works.
Andrew.
And every
No,
time
that's
she tries
fucking-
to get in the room, you hiss at her and you throw things.
You didn't want to watch this anyway.
Yeah,
Get out.
exactly.
Get out of here.
So Aaron Rodgers has been saying that obviously. Well, let's.
Are we not going
They
to talk
lost.
about the games? Yeah. Wait. And are we not going to talk
do you
about
want
the
to talk
games
about the games first?
in order? Are we not going to talk about the games in order? We're just gonna like cherry pick.
Well,
like,
because I
hey,
wanted to just talk about random news, but we can definitely talk about the games
Hey,
first.
hold on. This might be my pizza. This might be my pizza.
Where are you?
Hello?
Oh, if you say
Hey there, this is your Demos downstairs. Would you like to come on down to pick it up?
Yes. I will be right there to pick up the
No
pizza.
problem. I'll be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got pizza. You got it.
you
One
gotta
second.
be fucking kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. They do this
Oh
on part of
my
my take. They do this on part of my
God.
take. They do this on part of my
Yeah,
take.
we're okay.
Hey, the pizza's here. Can one of you go down and get it?
One of
I'm-
you. Who's all at your fucking?
There's Holly, my wife. Oh, and Rudy's here. Rudy, my brother. Rudy.
Oh,
He's
I know
been on our
Rudy.
podcast before.
Yes, he has.
No. I don't. No. They called me, but they didn't get buzzed in, so they just need picked up. It just needs picked up. They didn't. I gave them specific instructions. Buzz to get into the building. Buzz 3. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to dox my building number. Press 1, 2, 3. That actually is that. You know what? I just did
Yeah.
it. But you press 1, 2,
Visit
3
him.
to get into my building. You call me. It calls my cell phone. I let you in. And then you can leave it in the lobby. You can come up to the apartment.
Leave it
and-
in the lobby. You would just eat lobby pizza.
No, listen.
Listen,
it's
I'm
better
going
than-
to get that shit every time. I
It's-
mean, like,
It's better. Some of them leave it in the lobby because they're too lazy to come up to the to the 8th
that
floor.
actually.
I'm
that
really
actually pisses me
I'm really
off.
just doxing myself. I live on the 8th floor of my building. If you want to get into my building, you press 1, 2, 3, and I can buzz you in.
Or grab
I'm
them,
not
hook
gonna
up the
buzz you in
side.
if I don't know you. If I don't know you,
You have to be
I'm not gonna
dressed as a
buzz you.
pizza delivery guy. That's the only way.
yeah. Anyway, look, this is how I eat. This is how I survive. What are we talking about, Aaron Rodgers? What are we talking about, football? I don't want to.
No,
Andrew,
we'll
we have to go in order. So we're going to talk about Titans,
it's fine.
Bengals first. Okay?
Titans, Bengals,
Now,
and we'll say so for this game. We'll also include for the pick'em game. The spread was 3.5. Titans. I had Titans. You had Bengals.
goddamn right I did.
Yes, you did.
And I felt good. And you know what? I put money on this too. I put money on this. This is my
Really?
first real money bet in a very long time. I fired up the DraftKings app and
Let's
I
go.
put a couple units on it. and I won.
You're gonna say yen.
Yeah, I put a
Dropped
couple
of
yen. Yeah. DraftKings actually allows you to bet in foreign currency now.
Yeah, actually, only dollars and yen. That's it.
And Dogecoin,
Yeah. Oh shit.
Shiba.
I can't wait to go do my taxes this year, and like the lady who does them is gonna be like, "So do you own any like digital assets?" Because that's the thing they ask now. I'll be like, "Yeah, I have a horse named Wumbo."
They listen. I'm gonna have to just do my best because it is
Yeah,
the
it's gonna be
wild.
tough for
It's
you.
the wild fucking west out here. I am not. I can't go to an H&R Block and just be like, "Hey, yeah, I buy pictures of digital penises and digital horses and
Yeah, you can. you can.
and then I sell them to
And
other
honestly,
people
for
also
video content, you have to.
I also
You have to strap a GoPro to your head and be like, "Don't look at the camera. Just answer my tax questions."
not
please."
only do I buy digital JPEGs of penises, but there's also a market where I can sell them and someone will actually buy it for more than I paid for my penis, my digital penis that I bought, and I'll make a profit off it. Like it's going to be a wild.
Well, for tax reasons though, I mean, like when you own certain things, you can get them valuated. But like,
it's such a volatile market. What do you mean?
I don't know.
Get them
Yeah, I don't know if
valuated?
you could be like, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, listen, if I don't sell it, then I don't pay taxes on it. If I don't make a profit, I don't. I don't.
Because it's not. It's just property. It's not
right.
It's not liquid. But
capital gains, capital losses, blah blah blah. Anyway, let's talk about football. Fucking finally, the Titans are jokes. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Titans are jokes. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC. Derrick Henry is a stud, but he was hurt. He had a metal plate in his foot. They didn't use their backup Foreman as much as they should have. They kept leaning on Derrick Henry, specifically on some key fourth downs and the 2-point conversion, which let's talk about that 2-point conversion. Why the fuck did they go for a 2-point conversion on their first touchdown? Makes no sense. Vrabel is a cuckoo head. He's a meat. He's a meat.
What I do know is that I don't mind the leaning on Derrick Henry the way that they did, because that's how Derrick Henry is best used in the entire league.
But he's not 100%. He's not 100%.
I know, but if you didn't use Derrick Henry like you did, I mean, like you're gonna have to like only use Foreman then, because part of Derrick Henry's appeal, he is a giant, physical, huge man, but his yards per carry go up a crazy amount every quarter the game goes on, because he doesn't get tired, and people don't want to tackle him in the fourth quarter because they're tired, and he's just a massive.
Yeah, his production goes up as the game goes on.
Right, and that didn't really happen in this game, and it normally does. And I feel like that's their whole strategy, their whole identity as an offense when he's out on the field.
Tannehill threw some terrible picks. Yes, one in the very beginning of the game.
3 picks.
And then a very key one, which was the screen pass that was probably the make or break of the game, intercepted by the Bengals. I mean, credit to the Bengals. I know like we're shitting on the Titans right now, but credit to the Bengals. They played fucking tough. Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times. 9 fucking times, and was still able to get a victory out of this. McPherson, their kicker, is a fucking stud.
Did you hear that press conference? Yeah.
Well, not the press conference.
We're about to go to
but
yeah, well, it was Joe Burrow's press conference, but
yes, and he was warming up on the sideline before the final kick, and then he said, "Well, I guess we're going to the AFC Championship."
Big dick
Chad.
Okay, so the Bengals win. What is that? 19-16.
They covered the spread.
The wire.
They covered the spread.
They did cover this. They did cover the spread. I mean, they also just won outright. So.
Right, that's covering the spread, Andrew.
That's 100% correct. Next up, San Francisco.
Wait. That's all you have to say?
I mean, that game I didn't think was all that interesting. I mean, like,
what
good for
the
Bengals, like you said.
Every game this weekend was a fucking fire. It was awesome. It was gas on gas on gas on gas. Every single game. That just kicked it off.
I would say, well, yeah, I would say that was the most boring game of the 4.
I would argue that the next game we're about to talk about was probably
just because it was low scoring. You kidding me?
No, you're right. It was snowing. It was fucking. There was special teams errors, block punts,
all fucking over. Comedy of errors.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. We got the Packers. We got the 49ers. at
We
Lambeau.
both took the Packers at -5.5.
How could
so
you
we both
not?
missed on that
How
one.
could you not? This is Aaron Rodgers. This is at Lambeau. This is supposed to be his year, his MVP year, and he fucking laid a goose egg. He laid a goose egg.
I mean, I don't get how. I know it's snowing. I know it's cold, and I know that you run the football when it's like that. I get it. That's just what is called for a lot of the time in the NFL. But Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play.
Well, we
And
keep
his
saying that,
playoff-
but is he?
Statistically, he's got efficient numbers. He's really great with the ball. He doesn't turn it over, and he drops the dime all the time.
And he's about to
It's
win
just-
MVP 2 years in a row.
We'll see about that.
We'll see, but probably 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
The problem with
he's not staying with the Packers.
I hope not. He needs to move on. The Packers need to move on to Jordan Love. I literally can't even say that seriously. Jordan Love is trash. He's trash Rivers, but I'm
Right.
sorry. I mean, from everything I've seen from Jordan Love, he's a dumpster fire, and the Packers are not in good hands with him. Aaron Rodgers needs to go somewhere else. He needs to just clear his head of Green Bay and Matt LaFleur and that entire organization. However, he did not play well on Saturday. He kept trying to force the ball to Devontae Adams, who, was double coverage the entire time because he's the best receiver, but he didn't give it to Lazard. He didn't give it to some of his other receivers that were open. He kept trying to force
He threw it the most to, Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones.
That's it.
Running back. They both had 9.
Yeah, that's it.
9 receptions.
And I think the rest were six targets for the rest of the field. I think I read that stat somewhere. So you got to spread the ball when it's not there to your main guy. Obviously, Green Bay special teams was also really bad. They gave up that touchdown to
They were atrocious.
They gave up the touchdown to the 49ers with the block punt. They only had 10 guys on the field with Robbie Gould's game-winning kick. Kind of a comedy of errors, like you said. But again, Aaron Rodgers, defending MVP, will probably be the MVP for this year. He's one of the greatest. We keep saying that. You're at home. You got a bye week. You got to win this game. You got to win this game.
Both the 1 seeds lose in back-to-back games. San Francisco, I didn't think they were really that good.
Their defense is just really good. Their defense is great.
But Jimmy G has yet to throw a touchdown in the playoffs.
They don't need him to. That's the thing. They don't need
no,
him. Just hand it off to Debo, Elijah Mitchell. Just give it to those guys. Don't even throw the ball. Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it.
They're not even real receivers. Debo's not even a real receiver. He's a running back. Debo's a running back.
Rodgers and Devontae Adams are both free agents this year. Devontae Adams is a free agent. Aaron Rodgers has his contract set up to be he gets to say and he gets to terminate and he gets to be traded if that's what he wishes. The Broncos just hired the Green Bay. Well, I guess I don't know if it's been official yet, but they are having lots of interviews with their Green Bay's offensive coordinator. If that happens, a lot of people are going to speculate they're both going to go to the Broncos.
Could you imagine?
That's what everyone.
Could you imagine?
That's what everyone said last year.
Exactly.
But I don't know if that's his best landing spot.
Where is his best landing spot?
Probably Pittsburgh, right?
Why do you say Pittsburgh? Fuck that. I would literally cry. I would literally cry if Aaron Rodgers comes to my conference. I have to deal with Joe Burrow, okay, and maybe actually I'm not scared of Baker Mayfield. I am kind of scared of Joe Burrow and the Bengals now. I don't need Aaron Rodgers going to my arch nemesis of a team in my conference. I just don't need that.
I think to me, if I'm Aaron Rodgers looking at the situation, I'm looking at, not in any order, but the 49ers, the Steelers, the Colts, and the Broncos. Those are
he's a Cali boy.
What's that?
He's a Cali boy. Jimmy G isn't the guy. He's a good game manager. Obviously, sometimes he's not the guy that you're going to lean on for quarterback. If they had Aaron Rodgers, they would be an unstoppable force, I feel like.
Now imagine here's an interesting one. Jerry Jones comes out with his walker and he says, "We are firing Mike McCarthy. We are hiring Sean Payton. We are trading Dak to Green Bay for
That would be
both
nuts.
Aaron Rodgers, and then they're going to sign Devontae Adams."
Honestly, if that were to happen, if you're Green Bay, you're happy as fuck because all of a sudden you just got a career quarterback and you don't have to deal with Jordan Love, because I promise you, Packers fans do not want to deal with Jordan Love on a game-to-game basis. That will be terrible.
Do you think, as a Packers fan, like, what do you think would be like, how do you think you'd handle things?
I'm
Or
not a
which
Packers
scenario
fan.
would you
What
handle?
do you mean I'm not a Packers
I'm just saying,
fan?
how would you handle things? Would you handle it better going, oh, we're just riding with Jordan Love and it's going to suck for a couple years and knowing that? Or like watching you just take another random shot, trading up to get another QB that's like maybe not that good in this year's draft? Like,
Jordan Love is not the guy. So, I mean, I
we say
literally
that, but as an org, they traded up for him in the first round.
I know.
I don't know if fan base is that's gonna let you live that down. Like, you have to.
No,
you have
that's
to
like
run
a Mitch
season with him, right?
I guess, dude, but it reminds me of Mitch Trubisky. Chicago Bears traded up to get Mitch Trubisky, obviously, and then that was the same draft that had Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson.
I just don't think that you can spend that capital and not play him, like not give him a shot. Like, that's a
sure.
Look, you could trade him, I guess. What would you get back? But
look, you're fine. Just have that season from hell. Start him, give him the shot, and then just watch your team implode, and then be like, okay, we gave him a shot. Time to move on.
I mean, they're not going to have a number one wide receiver either. I mean,
it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be a shit show.
They paid Aaron Jones, which doesn't make any sense in their like current. You know what I mean?
I know.
And Devontae Adams is a free agent, and their number one receiver is going to be Randall Cobb or Alan Lazard.
Randall Cobb is good but old but gold.
But so the 49ers, they win it 13-10, very low scoring game.
So I also bet this game, live bet it, because the Packers at one point were 9.5 point favorites when it was like 7-3 or something like that, maybe 7-0. I can't remember. They were 9.5 point favorites, and the 49ers were marching down the field. And I was like, all they have to do is tie. I mean, all they have to do is score a touchdown and they tie the game. So I hammered 9.5 for the 49ers. 49ers actually ended up winning. All they had to do was cover. It was a great betting day on Saturday.
Next up, Rams, Bucks.
I don't want to talk about this game. I don't want to talk about this game.
So the thing I have to say about this game is the Rams should have run away with it just based on how it started. The Bucks did not play well at the beginning, and the Rams kind of started to choke. Now, the Rams did step up in the final drive. I mean, Matthew Stafford dropped dimes to Cooper Kupp in the final drive. I mean, he did.
Were you worried? Were you worried?
Oh, yeah, I was fucking worried. Are you kidding me? I the halftime, I was like, this is in the bag, dude. I'm like, the Bucks are hurt. They don't have it figured out.
27-3. Almost a 27-3 comeback for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and they tie it 27-27 through you want to talk about comedy of errors. It was a comedy of turnovers. Tom Brady fumbles the ball, then Matthew Stafford has the ball pitched over his head, and I mean it's turnover after turnover after turnover. Cooper Kupp fumbles the ball, Cam Akers fumbles the ball. The Rams were giving Tom Brady every chance to come back and tie and win the game, and he does.
And he did what he could. I mean,
and then he said, "This was Stafford who's saying it. Okay, I'm gonna just try to win now. I'm gonna try to get a hole in one now," and just fucking launches it to Cooper Kupp. I mean, the Bucks defense got burned on that last play. I don't understand how Cooper Kupp was so wide open. How was he so wide open?
Dude, Cooper Kupp is always wide fucking. I don't understand it either.
He's like Tyreek Hill. He's like the white Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill always seems to be open because he's so fast. I guess Cooper Kupp is that fast. I don't understand. Or he's an excellent route runner because I don't understand how he's so open.
But, dude, the entire time I was watching it, like when that fumble happened, that Cam Akers fumble, I was freaking the fuck out because.
I mean,
once
Tom Brady tied the game. once Tom Brady tied the game, you had to have been like, it's over. It's over. The Bucks have this.
I was 100%. I was like I was like Tom Brady doesn't lose in a game like this. It's just not how history is written.
Now, Andrew, I do have to ask.
The Rams do win it 30-20 set. What's that?
I do have to ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you think that was Tom Brady's last game?
If I wouldn't have heard any press conference or anything like that, and it just happened to be the last game that I watched of him, I would say hell no, absolutely not. Because he's always said his big thing is, I will be done when I can't perform. And was this a glamorous game? No, but he still threw for 330 yards and a touchdown. He didn't.
He had a
look
really
like
good
he
season.
Was washed.
He had a really great
great
season this year.
He had an MVP-esque season. So I would say no. But based on his comments,
his comments are
game,
weird. His comments are weird.
It might fucking be. Now it could also just be a PR stunt because he's very good at that. He's very good at managing the media. He could just be like, pretend to go out and be really. Honestly, it would be really funny to have a fake pretend retirement press conference and then to be like, I'm just kidding. That would be so funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Or like pull a Brett
And
Favre and be like, I am retiring. Psych, I'm just going to another team.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know. I hope it's not. If
that would be so sad.
If me wanting
sad.
the Rams to win is the cause of Tom Brady's last,
I'm gonna be so mad at you
really
for the
sad.
rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives,
that's fair.
I'll be so mad at you and the Rams.
Not as mad as you'll be if they make it to the Super Bowl and it's what happens.
We'll get to the previews, but I am not rooting for Matthew Stafford to make the Super Bowl. He can't. Listen, he can't make the Super Bowl. I can't have it. I can't have it. Please, the 49ers.
I mean, lucky for you, the 49ers
they have the Rams number.
Have beaten the Rams. Yeah, they've beaten the Rams both times in the regular season. So, but anyway, so Rams win at 30-27, nail biter, really fun game to watch. Bills Chiefs.
Okay, so you are leading by 1, right?
Yep, I am now currently leading by 1.
Going into this game, I had the Bills, you had the Chiefs, and holy shit, we watched probably the greatest game. The only other game that comes to my mind was the Rams-Chiefs game Monday night 3 years ago, where it was like both in the 50s, right? It was like a crazy.
Both teams forgot their defense. Defensive linemen were scoring touchdowns. Like, it was crazy.
But this game was truly special. 1, because it was a playoff game. 2, because it kind of happened in the final 2 minutes of the game where you had like 20 plus points scored in the last 2 minutes of the game. And Josh Allen, first off,
Gabriel Davis,
4 touchdowns, 200 plus yards. Insanity. They score with 2 minutes left. They give it back to Mahomes, who then obviously throws it to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill scores a touchdown, does a little peace sign, which could have been taunting, should have been taunting.
Yeah.
But it was fucking hilarious.
It's so dumb because I don't think that should be – I think they should be allowed to do that shit. It's a game.
It should.
But if that's a rule and – you have to call your rules. Like, what is the point? Like,
what exactly? What's the point of having the rule if you're not going to use it? Then don't call any taunting plays ever. But they still do call taunting plays, and they still enforce the rule. That was probably the most obvious, blatant taunt I've ever seen. He's just running and right up into his face does the peace sign. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah. I love the move.
You've seen his gloves, by the way, right?
I don't know what they have.
So Tyreek Hill has gotten fined for giving the peace sign a lot. So he had special gloves made that are it's a full hand, and then it looks like his thumb and his 2 other fingers are folded over, and then his fingers are up. So when he goes like this, it looks like he's giving the peace sign on his glove.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny, right?
That's hilarious. I love watching him play. He is he's the Flash. He's a cheetah on the field. He's so fast. he scores, then you're like, oh fuck, well now the Bills have to come back and answer, and they have to score a touchdown. And then what do?
Which they do.
With 13 seconds left, Gabriel Davis
And then
again
they're celebrating.
They get the 2-point conversion. Right? And then you're like, okay, wow, they're up by 3 points. 13 seconds left. I mean, the game's over, right? And then obviously people are joking like, oh, not enough time. I mean, still left enough clock for Patrick Mahomes.
It's also weird. Like, the Bills decided to play sidelines that whole, like, portion at the end of the game
when the Chiefs had three timeouts. They had all their timeouts.
I was like, I don't understand. I mean, like, you got to still play real defense because I know that it goes to overtime, but like, you're really gonna, the way that your offenses are playing, you're really gonna throw it to a coin toss. I guess, yeah, they will. So,
also about the Bills is they should have squib kicked, obviously, to maybe run out some more clock. I mean, again, that's so silly. Like, obviously, 13 seconds. You're like, just fucking hit it just kick it as hard as you can. Do the touchback. 13 seconds could not possibly be enough for the Chiefs to go 40 yards. It actually fucking is insane.
And while we're talking about this, I want to save it for this game. So just on my own as a sports bettor, like, there aren't 10 games going on during the playoffs, like, after a while, because people get eliminated. So I can't do my 10-team parlay. But I started doing an underdog parlay. And I had all 4 underdogs in that parlay, and it was just like chump change. It was like it was $150 payout. But I'm sitting here like, come on, I'm rooting for the Bills. Everyone else has won. Every other team has won, and it goes to overtime, and the Chiefs obviously clinch it. But
I actually so I live bet this game as well as all the other games, and I was on a hot streak. I lost. Okay. Oh, I also bet the Rams plus 14.5. I bet not the Rams. Sorry, I bet the Bucks plus 14.5. Like at halftime, right when they were down 27-3 or whatever. Like when they were down by 27-3, I bet the Bucks plus 14.5, and they obviously covered because they only lost by 3. So crazy. So I'm on a hot streak this entire weekend, and I get to the Bills, and I live bet the Bills plus, I kid you not, plus 4.5. And when they score that final touchdown, I'm like, it's over. It's over. I win the bet. I'm on a fucking 4-game hot streak. I'm so pumped.
Right.
Well, I fucking end up losing that goddamn bet because Patrick Mahomes comes back, ties the game, that goes into overtime.
Patrick Mahomes things.
Exactly. They get the ball first in overtime. First touchdown ends the game. Well, we knew what was happening as soon as the Chiefs got the ball because it's what happened.
Did you see that?
They win by 6.
They win by 6. Did you see that press conference?
I lose my bet.
Banter.
I lose my bet.
That I guess Kelsey was like, dude, like, they're not covering the middle. I'm just gonna run and do this route. And Patrick Mahomes was like, no, don't do it. But then they got to the line and they saw it, and Patrick Mahomes was just screaming at Travis Kelsey to do it, and he hits him over the middle for like 19 or 25 yards or something stupid like that. All right.
Just crazy.
So that puts me.
Crazy games.
That puts me up 2 games. Right? There are 3 games left in the season.
So I could still win.
There are. Yeah, well, so yes, you could still win. The problem is if we agree on any games, then it will be impossible for you to win.
Well, Andrew, wouldn't that mean that you have to go first, though, right? So how could we possibly agree on any games?
So here's the thing. I mean, yeah, I could go first, and then you could choose the opposite. But if, like, again, if
Andy,
we agree, you would have to either go.
Andy, that's what I'm doing.
You're just going to do that? Well, because I was going to say, what we could do is
that's
there's
the
a chat
only way.
Here, and
that's the only way.
Well, we could. I mean, that's the only way to make it competitive. I'm just saying that, like, what we could do is in the chat.
I'm not saying it's the only way to make it competitive. I'm saying that is literally the only way I can come back and win this is if I pick the opposite games than you. That's the only way.
Right. So what I'm saying is I don't think that me going first is fair in that sense.
So you are going to make it to the very end of this entire game, which we've had the same rules, which is the person who's winning that week goes first with their picks, and you're saying that you don't think that that's fair because
to you,
to me,
because I'm gonna get. I mean, because I'm gonna get first pick because I can definitely. If you're just gonna pick the opposite, then you don't get. Then you're.
It's a mind game on you.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like Andrew. All you have to do is win one more game, and I can't win. Right? I have to tie it up, and then Super Bowl would be the tiebreaker. Right?
Yes.
This is your chance. You have the final shot. You have the final shot to win this entire thing. All you have to do is pick one right game. So it's all in your hands. It's all in your hands.
Listen, all right, I'm all about it. So we'll start with Cincinnati, Kansas City. The Chiefs are 7-point favorites.
Okay, wait. I'm checking I have to we're down to the final 3 games. I'm checking your spreads. I'm using the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
That's what I'm using.
Okay. So what's the spread?
Kansas City by 7.
That is not true because if you see Kansas City is minus 120 for 7, Bengals plus 7 is even at plus 100. That means that the spread is actually 7.5.
Listen, that's not the spread that they're advertising. So no, it's minus 7.
It's not minus 7. If it was Andrew, let me explain something to you with sportsbooks and spreads.
Listen, I know what you're gonna say, but here's the deal. We've been doing those spreads regardless every single week.
Just because you've been doing it wrong and you haven't gotten caught yet, doesn't mean you're doing it right.
Haven't gotten caught. Fine. Here's the deal. 7.5.
It's 7.5.
Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs at 7.5. You have Cincinnati.
You understand that if you pick the Chiefs,
and then for the LA Rams, I have the Rams.
Well, let's talk about the spread.
49ers.
Let's talk about the spreads
at 3.5.
I'm going to double check. Andrew, you do understand.
That's fine. Both minus 110.
Hold on, just for everyone listening, I'm just understand.
Going over the offered spreads. That's what we've done every week.
But the offered spreads need to be even odds, right? Is that? Are we on agreement with that? That when we bet spreads,
we're not going on the average spread of every single sports book.
I just want an even spread. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be a 50-50 pick.
How about I give you a shot at this? How about I give you a shot at actually winning?
You have to just win one game. You have to win one game.
Which I'm going to do, which is definitely going to happen. I would bet you side bet that I'm going to have the Rams and the Chiefs both win.
Okay, so you have the Rams at minus 3.5. That's an even spread. 3.5 at minus 110. That's fine. The Chiefs minus 7 at minus 120 is not an even spread, so it'd be minus 7.5.
Well, actually, I bet we can even. Let me see here. Let me click into this. Let me look at alternate spreads really quick. Game props.
I'll look at alternate spreads too. I'm going to look at alternate spreads too.
So at Chiefs at minus, they don't have minus 7.5 offered. They actually have minus 110 at minus 8.5.
Well, there you go. Then that's what we're using. 8.5. I have Bengals plus 8.5, and I have 49ers plus 3.5.
Yeah.
And you know what, Andrew? All you have to do is win one of those. Wait. Yeah, all you have to do is win one of those, and you win your steak dinner.
7. That's true.
You win your steak dinner because I have to win 2 to go to the Super Bowl, which would be the final.
I guess technically, actually, no, they're both halves. They can't push.
Wait, I'm trying to think. If I win one.
If you win one, that puts you at 127, which puts you one behind. And then I win one.
Yeah, it would be impossible. It'd be impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah. So all you have to do is win one. All you have to do is win one. Look, Andrew.
You're saying that like.
Andrew, I'm rooting for you. Honestly, I'm rooting for you. I think you deserve a steak dinner. Okay, and here's the thing. Here's the bet.
Honestly, even if,
but I want you to win it fairly. I need you to win it fairly. You can't be using spreads that are obviously altered minus 120 Okay,
You say
minus
that they're
120, which
obviously
is
altered,
not
but
even. It's
we
not
have-
even
we have-
spreads.
None of these are truly even. These are just the sports books. This is just what they fucking put out. I mean, it can say that minus 8.5 is minus 110, but that's not true fucking even.
That is even. It's 110 is
That's
the even.
that's true
That's
even
the
to
vig.
DraftKings. That's not true even.
Well, we're using the sports book, right? And
Yeah, I'm just saying that you're saying that that's the end all be all of true even. Every single game that we have done, it has been the promoted line that is out for the book.
Listen, because it's like playoff
That's
games,
just-
right? Look, it's like playoff games
Sure.
or plays that happen at the end of the game. They're going to get more attention because everyone's watching them. I'm
Because
specifically
everyone's
watching
watching.
them. They decide the contest, right? So just because we did one in the past where we were just looking at DraftKings, what they had on their homepage, we need
Listen,
even
this-
spreads.
this whole
I
thing-
want you to win, Andrew. I need you
Excuse me.
to understand that. I want you to win,
This whole thing,
but I need you to win fairly.
God damn.
Need you. I need you to
Holy
win
shit.
fairly. I need you
This
to win
whole
fairly.
thing in general
fair.
is just a precursor to next year when we have a real contest.
What's the real contest?
We'll do it up big. We'll Betsy's gonna be involved. Betsy's gonna be in it. Like she's gonna have a voice, and she's gonna be betting against us, just like we were doing this year. And instead of just using DraftKings, we're gonna use the average even line promoted by the top 10 sports
Boom.
books.
Look,
Yep,
I'm excited
exactly.
for that. I'm excited for that. Now, just to remind everyone, if they're still listening through that whole bitch fest, the winner of this has to go. I mean, it's a steak dinner, so I'm thinking that the winner actually has to go out and actually eat a steak dinner, and then screenshot or take a picture of the receipt,
Oh,
and then
in Venmo.
And then Venmo,
You mean
exactly.
you're not gonna fly to me?
Well, you can take
And,
Ashley. How about that?
it would also
you
be
can
funny
go on a
to
nice
go to a steak dinner
steak-
and pull out your phone and you have to FaceTime, have a steak dinner with them.
I like
and
that.
you could
Yeah,
do
FaceTime
kinda-
me.
That's
Or
kinda funny.
or do a Snapchat or something. But
well, here's the thing: I would trade winning this bet just to know that the Rams were going to win, because then you have to do the other thing, which we haven't talked about yet, which I'm very excited about.
yeah, so if Matthew Stafford, God, I fucking hate this. I hope that. I mean, oh my God, I can't believe I said I would do this, but I will do it.
You
I'm a
kind of
man
did
of
it
my
under
word.
the gun because we wanted to try to figure something out for the bet, but we didn't really
Yeah, it's like Big
under
Cat
the
and his
pressure, we didn't
pinky.
have-
It's like Big Cat and his pinky. Like no one's forcing
I
him to
just go
cut
to
his
the
pinky.
emergency room and they cut
No
it
one's
off.
forcing him. No one's forcing him to fucking lob a piece of his pinky off. But at the same time, I hate the Rams so much, and I'm so stubborn that I need everyone to understand that they're a bad team and that they're full of frauds. They're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. And just to cement that, I will put my, nuts on the line and say that if they do make
Your
it to the
hard-earned
Super Bowl,
dollars.
I will buy a Matthew Stafford jersey and rock it during the Super Bowl. I'm going to a Super Bowl party. I will fucking wear the Matthew Stafford jersey at the Super Bowl party and look like a fucking moron. I will do all of that.
What's funny too is you'll probably the minute this game is over, you're gonna have to order it so you get it in time for.
Oh my God.
So you get it in time for the Super Bowl.
I fucking hate this. I need the 49ers to win. I need the 49ers to win so bad. I fucking hate this.
When you grapefruit your man, it's
Grapefruit. I'm
Grapefruit.
fucking done with this. I'm done with this, Andrew. I'm done with this.
Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city, bling bling. Every time I come around your city,